Hi everyone, it's the end of my work day and it was an okay day today. I didn't get yelled at, so that's good. I had some pretty long calls which affect my ears. My ears get really painful. When calls go over 8 minutes, then it starts affecting your eardrums and your throat, which is sad, but that's part of the job. Unfortunately, more news about corruption and people cheating. Now this time it's PwC. Why am I not surprised? I told you, the system is set up to support the corrupt in Canada and overseas. So anyway, there was a nice talk today given by one of the ladies at the UN that was calling for unity and for all the different religions to work together to stop Hamas. And it was very moving. It reminded me a lot of the Rhodesian war and what we went through. It brought tears to my eyes. It's on LinkedIn. If anybody wants to take a look, it's on my profile. I reshared it for her. And I thought a lot about my dad. My dad did a lot for people in our family. He used to take my cousins to school and my aunt. And even in his sickness, he still did a lot for everybody. And I was always with him. I remember those days when they used to come and take our guys, take even the women. They used to take them. Anyway, we had to be strong for my mom after Dad died. She wouldn't have gotten through it without us. She used to get really, really upset and very, very nervous. But we were always with Mom, so she didn't have anything to worry about. We always helped her. And we were always there for her. But yeah, I thought a lot about my dad. It's hard not to when you've lived through the Bush War and you've lived through everything that people are going through now. We had hotels bombed, we had bomb threats, we had all kinds of things. Used to see the police with their dogs. The dogs used to attack the people. But yeah, those were the days. And they used to come to the shop. They used to come and I used to tell them, "You're not taking my dad." And they used to just look at me, the policeman. I was quite fierce when I was small. But anyway, I guess that's what's made me who I am. And it's interesting when it brings back a lot of memories for me, the war. And my dad did so much for the Muslim community, for the Hindu community. I have a friend, Selma Ishmael. She told me, "Your dad hired me." A lot of people couldn't get jobs, so my dad used to hire them and help them, help the Muslim families, help the Hindu families. We were all alone in Zimbabwe. We didn't have any immediate family nearby. I'll never forget when my mom went for her dad's funeral. We were frightened. We wanted our neighbor to come and stay with us, and Mrs. Harry said, "No, you people just lock the doors and go to sleep. We'll phone you in the morning." Families looked after themselves. Nobody looked after us. They helped us where they could, but they each looked after their own families. So they were tough times. Petrol rationing, they call it gas here. Petrol rationing, food rationing, all sorts of things. We didn't get sugar, sometimes we didn't get meat. And South Africa let us down with the Rhodesian war. If they hadn't gotten South Africa, our country wouldn't have folded. We were too strong. Our dollar was too strong. We were better than the pound. And even now, you give us a Zimbabwean an opportunity, we outshine everybody. No one can touch us, even me. If they put me in the call center now, I'm working in the call center, I apply to all the banks. They can't hire me because of what Eddie and Eric and my sister did to me. But the banks will fight this for me. TD will fight it for me. I've got enough support that they'll fight it for me. Because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous for my sister to tell people I'm obsessed with her. I don't even talk to her. Once my mother told me don't talk to her, I stopped talking to her. I was hurt at the time and upset, but after they forced me to go and get that psychiatric assessment, I was like, forget it. If someone can do that to their own sister and their own nephew, and their own niece and make me go and get a psychiatric assessment because of their own issues and their own problems, I'm like, forget it. I'm not bothered. And even the Jesuits here have a lot of compassion for the Muslims. Me, not so much. Not so much. Because I know what my Muslim friends went through in South Africa, in Zimbabwe. I know how they got treated, how they got hit by their husbands, how the affairs that they had, and people accepted it because they were Muslims. So I don't have too much compassion for them. Not too much. I feel sorry for my Muslim friends who are women, but I mean, their religion supports all these things. So what rights do the women have? You can go home tomorrow and your husband can tell you 3 times, I divorce you, and then you must go. They have that in the Jewish laws also. There's lots of movies about how they used to treat the Jewish women and how they portray Mary Magdalene, how she landed up, it's not really true, but they say she became a prostitute, how the Romans took her. But she wasn't a prostitute. But it's interesting to see which religions get supported and which ones don't in Canada. So there are a lot of differences. Not to say that there isn't truth in all the other religions, but for us, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And the Muslims don't, like for us, we are infidels. If we have long hair and things like that, they say that we prostitutes. There was Dr. Taylor Marshall, he gave talks on it. So, not that I care. I cut my hair because my cousin told me, cut your hair, and then it was thinning. Otherwise, I don't care. I grow my hair long. I like long hair. I always liked long hair. But it's interesting. I don't stay in touch with anybody too often anymore from the Jesuits. I keep in touch with Peter Knox occasionally. He was my chaplain at university. And he knows what I've gone through, all the harassment, the low-paying jobs, unable to make ends meet. He feels for me and my mom. Nobody else feels for us. But it's one of those things. I write to him occasionally, I email him. But no one else feels for us. If you're starving, if you don't have money, you can't pay your bills, that's your problem as far as they're concerned. I'm very grateful to the ladies that I mentored and to Mark Belash, to the people that gave some money to me for my the fundraiser that I'm doing, because it's very, very hard. It's hard to survive on minimum wage, and it's hard to get out of that overdraft. But I've accepted it. People have told me, we don't know what you're going to do. Go on welfare for all we care. So I'm just going to keep applying for other jobs, and I'm going to keep asking Saint Therese to intervene for me and praying and asking God to help me to have mercy on my life. Because from the time I was young, this is how it's been. My sister would get the jobs at Bahadu's, working in the big stores, the department stores, and I would be sent to work in the takeaways. I was always the one that people came down on. No matter how good I was, no matter how nice I was, no matter how kind I was, I always got the rough treatment. So all I can do is put my faith in God and keep trying and keep hoping. And I accepted it. Even when I used to tell my mom, she used to tell me, oh, Arnold and them are coming, my cousin. I used to say to her, I want to come. She's like, no, don't come. They don't want you. Anita and Stuart don't want you to come. You work. Go to work. So I stopped going. But, you know, it's very, very hard. And then my brother says, oh, no, they were worried about you. Worried about me for what? They don't even pick up the phone. They don't talk to me. They don't email me. They never come and visit me. And then they're telling people they were worried about me. And their friends are saying, oh, that was your sister's love for you. I said, what love? It's not like she comes here to visit me or say, oh, have you got food, or have you got clothes, or are you okay? What are you doing for Christmas? I told their friends. I said, please stop telling me that this was my sister's love for me. I said, what love? She didn't even keep in touch with me once she got married. And I don't want to be blamed for all their problems, whatever they went through. It's not like I caused their home to be broken into, or I caused her to get married, or I caused any of their problems. But they take it out on me. I told their friends, I said, I don't want anything more to do with it. If you want to keep in touch with me because you like me, then you keep in touch with me, but keep your relationships with them separate, because I'm not interested. And the same thing with my Jesuit friends, with the people I met at Regis College. I told all of them, I said, you want to keep in touch with me and support me, then keep in touch with me. Don't bring the family into it, and don't bring my sister and my uncles and everybody into it. I only took my aunt and uncle to meet Father Larry because they requested it. Auntie Denise said to me, can you please take us to meet your priest and all these people you are close to? That's why I took her. I didn't, otherwise I wouldn't have taken them, because I don't know any of their friends that they are close to. They live their own lives and I live my own life. So it's one of those things, I guess that's the faith journey. We all go through that. People go through it, it's in the Bible. You see what happens to families. If we are lucky and we are blessed, the family stays together. We pray together, we go to church together, and we keep our faith. And my mom and I have kept our faith. Even the days I don't feel like going sometimes, she'll say to me, are you going to church? My godmother will also ask me, are you going to church? If I'm sick, I tell them, no, I'm staying at home today, I'll watch it. I like Knock Shrine, I watch their Mass. I say the Rosary and I watch the Mass with them. So everybody is different. I feel closer to the Irish culture than the Canadian culture. So because we used to have our Mass at home, our services at home, I told them in the church, they said we also used to have that in Canada, but they stopped it. So it's good to think about who's with us on our journey, even in our teams at work. Who's with us on our journey? We're all different religions, but we all work together. We're kind to each other. We help each other. We're nice to each other. And then you get all this news about all these top blue chip companies that everybody competes to work for. PwC, EY. Everyone used to compete to work for them. Now all the corruption is coming out. So you never know what God is saving you from. That's the way I look at it, because obviously I would like to earn a good salary. I'd like to earn over 50,000. I'd like to come out of the debt that I'm in. But we'll see how it all goes. Our company is starting to come up. They're starting to be recognized as one of the best places to work in Canada and in other places in the world, in India. So things are changing slowly, maybe not as fast as some of us would like. And some of us don't get paid what other people get paid in our company. But we hope for the best. And I hope the police do watch my videos after what they did to me. They should have sided with me, not with Eddie and Eric and Anita. There was no reason for them to do what they did to me. Absolutely none. And my sister didn't even apologize to me for what she did to me and my mom. My mom was devastated. And then she used to say to me, take some medication, take some medication. I said to her, I don't need medication. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not going to take medication for nothing. Why should I? So anyway, it's good to think about the war and think about other people who are suffering. And we went through it. What compassion did the West have on us? Nothing. Canada had no compassion. US had no compassion. UK had no compassion. They didn't care about the children being killed in Zimbabwe, Rhodesia. They didn't care about us. They didn't care that we didn't have food. They didn't care that we didn't have petrol or gas, that we didn't have electricity. No one cared about us. But we're still helping people. Wherever we are, Zimbabweans are helping people and making a difference. And instead of helping people like me, they carry on hurting me. They carry on denying the loans. They carry on putting us in poor-paying jobs. And the other people, the corrupt people that come from Nigeria and all those places, they put them in the top jobs because they're supporting the corruption. So why wouldn't they? That's the world today.